right, everybody, welcome into the show this week. Midwest Mike's coming at you with another week of sports talk.
Let's do it. Podcast time.
Going. So I think first I want to give a shout out to our alma mater, the Grandview Bulldogs from Grandview, Missouri, winning the 4A state championship in basketball over the weekend with a dominating 20-point victory over Raytown South.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy, but I love anytime we can beat Raytown South. So congratulations on the school's first state championship in basketball. They went in 2009 when Alec Burke was a senior who now plays for the Utah Jazz. I went to that game. They lost to Chaminade out of St. Louis.
Burke's still on the Jazz?
He's still on the Jazz.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, just a quick shout out to Grandview. Congratulations to those players and the coaches and everybody who put in the hard work to make it happen.
That's big time, man. I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, the school gets that going or whatever. Does Grandview have a football state championship?
Not that I would
think
off the top of my
right?
head, I would say no. Off the top of my head, I would say no.
I would have never thought they would get a basketball state championship before a football, especially how both those programs were when we were in school.
Yeah.
And so for them to do that, and since we've been there, turn around and get that good, I mean, that's awesome.
Yep, that's awesome for them. So congratulations to the staff and the kids. Most importantly, the kids that were the athletes that were on that team to get that done. But that being said, let's get into what was a insane weekend in the first NCAA tournament. I would say this is the craziest first weekend that I can remember with upsets.
And the thing is, it didn't start out like that.
No.
My bracket, I was hitting everything. And I was like, oh, man, I'm the genius. Because I didn't really pick any upsets. There weren't any upsets.
Yeah, the first day I felt like... Yeah.
And then Virginia lost.
First ever time a 16 seed beat a 1 seed.
Virginia was my winner. They were my winner. I had them winning. I really liked their team. And they played like crap. And, it was terrible. After that happened, the dominoes just started to fall. And all kinds of teams were starting to get killed.
They did. I had my winner was North Carolina, which, we were going to reveal our winners on the show this week, which we just did. But I had North Carolina winning, and they lose a 20-point battle to Texas A&M of all schools, and just were never in the game, got beat from start to finish.
I watched that game, and they were never in the game. What's crazy about that is like Missouri loses in the first round, and Missouri this year, they beat A&M, and so it's like it feels like this year is so wide open. I would say the only team I think is handling business is probably Villanova.
I think Kansas, also Duke.
Duke is too.
Are some teams that were definitely handling business in the first round that were expected to. Purdue, I thought, would not make it out of the first weekend, and they did to get a Sweet 16 bid. Texas Tech was another team I didn't think would get out. You had them in.
I got them in, and I still got them. So, So how many of your Sweet 16 do you have?
I have 5 of my original Sweet 16.
My Sweet 16, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8. So
you had 8 of the Sweet 16. So you hit half, 50%.
I hit 50% Sweet 16. And you know what? Traditionally, years past, I'm a lot better than that. But this was crazy. I mean,
I'm typically way over 50%.
All right. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
In the South bracket, your highest seed remaining is Kentucky at a 5 seed. And Kentucky is in what we would say is a quote-unquote down year. And I feel like now they can get to the Final Four pretty easily.
You know what's crazy is I had a kid at work who listens to the show, shout out to James, who told me he thought Kentucky was going to get to the Final Four. And I was like, all right, whatever. I've always liked, Calipari and all that stuff.
Great coach.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, dude, they're in a down year, whatever. Didn't listen. This kid, I don't know where he has him. And I'm going to ask him when I see him next where he has him in his bracket. But this dude, he was talking about Kentucky all last weekend. Like, he thinks he actually feels like these guys could actually win a national championship if they get on the same page and if they start rolling, because the talent's there. It's just they hadn't got on the same page all year. Because Calipari, the way he designs his teams it's like freshmen, sophomores, right? Because it's a ton of one and dones, or a ton of guys that are uber talented and that are rolling on to the NBA after they get done here. So I should have listened to him, because on that side of the bracket, I'm toast. I have nothing on that side of the bracket.
Same here. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Elite Eight, I have 3 teams from my original bracket left. That is Villanova, Kansas, and Duke. Elite Eight.
I got 4. I got Villanova, Purdue, Kansas, Duke.
Okay, and then Final Four, I got Villanova and Kansas still alive.
Final Four, I have Villanova and Kansas.
Okay, so we're the same there. And
so who do you have going to the championship?
I had North Carolina and Villanova, with North Carolina winning. So
I had Virginia versus Villanova, with Virginia winning. As I've watched this last weekend, feels like Villanova is kind of like walking in. It may end up being or Duke, but it may end up being Villanova, Kentucky, or Villanova. And because here's the deal, when you go to the other side of the bracket and it's Florida State, Gonzaga, A&M, and Michigan, are any of those teams good enough? If Kentucky's rolling, are any of those teams good enough to beat Kentucky? Let's go to Kentucky's bracket here. K-State versus Kentucky.
Yep, let's just go ahead and get into the games here. K-State, Kentucky.
Yeah, like Kentucky, right?
I'm going to go Kentucky over Kansas State just because talent.
Would you be surprised if K-State beat them?
K-State is playing really well right now. But and the line, by the way, is Kentucky -6. Side note, betting on the first weekend of the tournament, I made almost $75. I made about 72 and some.
So
change.
Even then, you still made money.
Yeah, even with the upsets, because the way I was picking the lines, I still made about $73. So
well, shoot, we might as well start basing just do spreads instead of picking games.
So I am going to take Kentucky to cover versus K-State.
I'll take Kentucky to cover too.
-6.
I think Kentucky maybe wins by 10. Right, the talent's there. K-State's missing their leading scorer. Calipari seems to get hot right now. Kentucky's hot at the right moment or whatever. Moving on to the second game, Loyola, Chicago versus Nevada. I have no idea.
Nevada is a 1.5 point favorite, that's pretty much a toss up.
Flip a coin.
But I am going to go with the higher seed here, which has not worked out so far in this tournament. But I'm going to go Nevada to cover the 1.5 and win by at least 2.
I'll just go opposite. I'll go Chi-Town, whatever. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
You got Sister Jean on your side.
When I start, because think about it. When we were talking about Kentucky, like their path to the Final Four is a piece of cake.
Yeah.
If they play, if they show up and they play 100%.
And so then we would have Kentucky versus Nevada.
Who's more talented?
Honestly, don't know the line there, but I'm gonna go Kentucky to get on to the Final Four at this point.
Where's the talent? Kentucky. Who's the better coach?
Calipari. I can't even name Nevada's coach.
What the heck, dude?
Off the top of my head.
All right, so moving down.
We got Florida State, who upset the number 1 seed. Some would say upset Missouri, not me, because I had Missouri losing in the first round to Florida State. I even picked Florida State to cover the 11.5 point spread, and they did. So that game won me a little bit of cash there on that Florida State-Missouri game. But anyway, then they upset Xavier.
The spread on that game was not 11.5.
It was.
No, it was not. No, that's incorrect. No. It was like, dude, it was super close. It wasn't 11.5. No, Xavier, it probably was 11.5.
I'm pretty
No,
sure.
the Missouri one
was.
the Missouri one was super close. It was like 1.5.
I don't think it was that close.
It was like a pick 'em. I don't know. Porter Jr.
Anyway.
Porter Jr. pretty much. Missouri fans listen to this podcast. Porter Jr. pretty much screwed his NBA stock on that game.
So hey, Twitter followers, look up what the spread was on that game and tweet it to us. Let us know at Midwest Mike's.
I'm telling you, I don't think it was that. But anyways, it doesn't matter because Missouri played like trash. And Anyways.
So Florida State playing Gonzaga. Gonzaga is a 5.5 point favorite. I am actually going to take Florida State and the points. I think Gonzaga wins, but I'm taking Florida State in the 5.5.
I like that stance because Florida State. Okay, when I watched them against Missouri, they were super athletic, and of course they played Xavier really tough. I think they lose also because I think their best game. I think they've played their best game against Xavier. That was their best game.
Yeah.
Gonzaga is always I mean, for years now has been like they win because they play great fundamental ball.
Mm-hmm.
They have decent talent
Consistency.
now. Consistent, decent talent because they had made the Final Four that one year. Ever since then, they've been able to recruit really well. So I'll go Gonzaga to win. I'll stick with you on that. I think Florida State covers. Gonzaga wins, though.
Okay, so Zags move on. But if you're betting, take Florida State and the points. So we have Michigan, who is a 3-point favorite against Texas A&M. I'm going Michigan to cover and to win.
Same thing here. I watched Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. Very impressed by them. Good little team. I like Houston. Actually, I like Houston too. I like watching them, but I think Michigan covers that game. And they win. So, Michigan moving on.
So, we got Michigan versus Gonzaga. I'm going to take Michigan to go on to the Final Four.
I guess. I'm going to go Gonzaga. The spread will probably be like a 3 towards... Or no, it'll probably be closer than that.
Your spreads typically get closer as you get into the further
It'll probably
games.
be like Gonzaga like 1.5. Or 2 or something like that. I'll take Gonzaga to cover that and to win.
Okay.
I'm
not going to take a guess on the spread. I'm just going to say Michigan wins.
That'll be a tough game to bet. You'll probably bet it.
I probably will. But I always wait till I look at the spreads, and then put some money in. But so we'll see how I do. Let's move on to the Midwest bracket, which the biggest spread of the weekend that's right now.
By the way, we goofed up on that. Michigan already played Houston. They beat them.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Michigan A&M.
Michigan A&M. Michigan beat.
That's what I said.
I was thinking Houston. Michigan A&M. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah, no, I got Michigan.
They beat A&M.
Yeah, they beat A&M, then they beat Gonzaga. So that's what I got.
I was looking at that wrong.
Biggest spread of the weekend is Syracuse is an 11.5 point underdog to Duke. I think Duke will win, but not cover. I think Syracuse will keep that one close.
I like Duke to win and I like Duke to cover. I think Duke is playing high basketball right now, really well. Syracuse, kind of made it, kind of inched their way into the tournament. I like Duke to beat the heck out of them. So
the thing that why I'm picking Syracuse to be within 11.5, why I'm taking them in the points, is because they have a fantastic coach.
They do.
Who has been there.
What are we talking about, fantastic coach?
Boeheim.
I'm talking about Coach K.
Hey, I'm not taking anything away from Coach K, but Syracuse has a coach that knows what he's doing. And he got him out of the first weekend, and he's going to have a way to keep this game close down the stretch. But Duke wins. All
right,
but they don't cover 11.5.
I think Duke covers. I think it's one of those games that like stays close at first, and then the talent takes over because Duke's got more talent for sure this year, and Duke takes it over, and Coach K buries this dude. And I don't know. I don't know if I've ever talked about Coach K. The love I have for him. I think he is the number one coach in college basketball, and I think he will take a little.